Hey everyone, it's Alice here. So there's this fun little shadow in the collective that's releasing right now. And when I say the collective, that means everyone. That means myself, yourself, anyone that you're meeting. It's kind of this intrinsic part of our DNA that is wanting to kind of, release itself, right? Be made aware of itself so that we can go, oh, isn't that interesting? Okay. And then integrate it back in. But what's really fun about this, and we're gonna go into it in just a moment. But what's really fun about this is that when we have a shadow that's appearing, and it seems to appear a few times over in a short space, what actually happens is that you know that it's very much something that is a common theme. Like something has happened cosmically. There's been an alignment. There's been a pull, a point of attraction, right? Where collectively, as the Earth, we're going, wow, okay, I now recognize that this program is redundant. Let's release it. Let's process it. Let's do that. And to do that, as humans, what we tend to need to do, just because it's part of being in a physical world, what we tend to need to do is actually have experiences where that shadow shows up. Right? Have experiences where we get to see it with our eyes. Have experiences where we witness another, right? Where we witness someone, we witness another showing this shadow. So what is it? Now let me know if you've noticed this, if you've felt this, or if you've seen this around right now. And you may not have done, but I'm really interested because a few people have, when I've asked a couple of my friends, they said, oh my God, yes. So there seems to be, to me, a release happening around the shadow. And I'm going to go into the vibration first before I tell you how it might show up. But the shadow of not having the competence, of feeling humiliated, of feeling inadequate. Now, that can go really deep in itself, that shadow. But what I'm finding really interesting is how it's showing up. It's showing up with technology a lot, with how with how people are able to navigate technology, whether people, if someone is asking them for something, whether they're able to figure it out. And what this is actually doing is the opposite part of it, so the non-shadow, the light, the love version of it is actually self-trust. It's knowing that you have everything that you need within you. You have the power to connect to wisdom, and you have the power to figure anything out. Everything you can figure out, right? There's always so many multiple streams of solution to absolutely everything, right? And that's because we're in this infinite, ever-expanding universe, and we are made of that, right? That is part of our DNA, that is part of our structure, that is the part, that source energy of us is what has focused our physical body here. And that source energy part of us is saying, oh, I still see this little kind of computer bug going on within these human bodies, right? So it's a lot of fun because we really get the opportunity to not judge, right? To not judge, just to kind of witness it, because anything anyone says to you is never actually personal. We might think it is, but it's not actually personal. It's always going to be a reflection of them. So yesterday I was in the post office. I was sending something. I had an Amazon delivery that I needed to send back. And I went to the post office that the Amazon app shared with me to go to. It was like, this is the nearest one, go to this one. So off I trot, la 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 la. End up at the post office. I'm like, hi. I have this to return, and the two people behind the counter, bless their hearts, they had no idea what I was talking about. They were like, the first person, the counter was split up into two. It was like a store counter, like a convenience store, and then the other side was like the post office part of it. So the first lady was like, oh, that must be a post office thing, I'll send you over to this lady. This lady gets back and and she's like, my phone isn't scanning it, like the handheld device isn't scanning it. It's not for here. And I'm like, no, it is. Look, I've got the address. This is this place, right? And she's like, yeah, look, it says that it is. And right behind them is a box of stuff to return. Amazon, right? But it only got delivered the day before. No one had told them how to do anything. They had to figure it out whilst I was there. Wow, so while someone's watching you, right? And that deep shadow that we all have on some level, because all of us as humans have come into this world when we're in this space of how we're raised, right, in the schooling system, and in the kind of, there's always going to be a winner and it's always going to be competitive. Like, we've all come in that scenario, in that time and space for you to be watching me here. Now, what was really interesting is that, now I can connect with their higher selves, right? As can everyone. We can all choose to calibrate to our higher self. We can all choose to calibrate to solution, to love, right? But it's a vibrational thing. So I'm stood there and I know me personally, I know I can figure stuff out. So I could easily just go, hey, do you mind if I come around the counter and I'll figure it out and tell you how to do it? I could have done that, but how extra humiliating would that have been, right? Just to save some time. That wouldn't help the situation. The vibration these people were in, they were feeling this inadequacy, but that's not true about them, right? The source in them knows that they can figure it all out, but the human programming that we all have and are upgrading in different parts of us, different timelines for different people. But the human parts of us have these old memories that tell us that we don't know, right? That we don't know that someone else's opinion, and this stems from when, someone else's opinion took precedent over yours, right? Whether that is in your childhood with a teacher, or whether that is in your adult life with someone who has perceived authority over you. And I say perceived because no one has authority over you, right? So it's just really interesting because that was yesterday. So I just stood there very patient, very heart open, and just knowing that we would find a way to get through this, and it wouldn't involve me doing it for them, because that actually disempowers them, and I don't want to disempower anyone. I know that they're gonna get it. And so they call another person to the counter to kind of help, because there was a queue starting to form behind me, and I could tell that the lady that was trying to figure it out at the beginning, all she was focused on was the fact that it said it will print out a label, and she doesn't have a printer. And that's all she could focus on. So she wasn't getting past anywhere. So it was really interesting to see what then happened. And another person came through, and I just said to this new person, before this new person arrived and merged in with the energy, the blocked energy that was behind the counter, before she got there, I was like, hey, it seems like you may have a new system here. I can see that you've got, bags there and labels there. I don't know that you need to print anything. If you do, we can figure it out. But I think you might just need to scan the code on here and scan the code on there, right? And what was really interesting is because you could see, now I see energy fields. I feel them, I see them. I actually see like the shift and the vibration, the frequency of them around someone and around a situation. And and I could see that this wonderful extra person that was coming in, I could see her kind of with her energy moving into this space. And it was like a beautiful ripple effect, because as she was starting to realise that, oh, it's actually not that bad, not that hard, we can do this, the other two women started to relax a little bit. They started to relax. A few minutes later, we ended up figuring it all out. We got the parcel done. Everything was sent off. I got the confirmation on my phone. But it was just really interesting because it could have really got held up and stuck so quickly had I responded energetically to the two people that were trying to help but couldn't get past this feeling of it's not possible. If I would have reacted and responded to that, right, by trying to do it for them, that only validates their subconscious feeling that they are inadequate. So that wasn't something I was wanting to do. And because I didn't do that, 5 minutes later, we got it all sorted. Whereas that could have gone a very different way, right? Similarly, a few hours later, I was speaking with someone who's a participant in, a wonderful program that I'm co-hosting this weekend. And what was really interesting was, this person is so powerful. This person is so powerful in their ability to surrender and to trust and have faith in the world around them and everything, in the way that everything will flow and happen. But they got stuck on something technical. And then same thing again, it was that same pattern. Have you guys seen this happen anywhere where there seems to have been oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing type of thing. And it doesn't always articulate that well. Sometimes it's like the computer doesn't work. Sometimes it's this website's rubbish. Sometimes it's, whatever. It can show up in different ways. But have you ever seen that happen? Right? And this person that I was speaking to has such faith and flow and wisdom with everything around them. And they just needed that extra validation that they actually can figure it out. And not by saying that, because when we say, you've got this, you can figure it out, all that does is that triggers our mind, right? Because it's the mind that needs to break down the walls. So instead we go from the heart, instead we drop our vibration down to our heart space, and we go, okay, well, this is where compassion comes in. Because the compassionate side of the heart says, there's been times where I felt like I've not known what to do, and I feel like I'm nagging for asking, or I feel like, I'm being a pain for asking. No, you're not. We've all been there in some way. And when we have the grace to realize that, then what actually happens is you meet the other person with love, and that shadow that is wanting to rise up and out and clear, because it's only showing up because it's ready to transmute. So that shadow that rises up, your vibration of love, your vibration of compassion, actually helps integrate that shadow back into the light. And then they realize that they can do it, and that builds trust within themselves. This is part of the oneness that we all need to or that we all are remembering, right? Oh yes, meeting people with love, absolutely. But what does that look like, right? Some people call love, that hard love. Some people call love that, that kind of the mental love. We're talking about that heart, like that deep heart, interconnectedness. Hey, the part of my heart, the part of me that is source energy, which is also the part of you, which is source energy, that is that oneness, right? And I know that that's what you were saying in the comments. I just wanted to kind of articulate that, So isn't it interesting, you guys? I wonder what you're noticing right now in your world. Because when it's a collective pattern, I get very excited. Because I'm like, we've just received some major new stuff wanting to open and blossom within us. And it's just got to it's like this cobweb set, just kind of got to get them out of here, So, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. It's been wonderful to connect with you all. And, a lovely mantra that helps whenever you might feel actually a little bit frustrated, because that can happen as well, right? We can feel frustrated when we don't understand something. The light in you is all I see, right? The light in you is all I see. If I ever feel frustrated, which, it happens, right? We all have emotions. We're human. That's what we're here being, right? And if I feel, frustration because someone's done or said something, I don't understand it, I have to remind myself, it's not me that doesn't understand it, it's my mind. Okay, so I just have to let that mind reconnect with the heart space. So the light in you is all I see. Because that's then connecting with their higher self, who will provide the solution and the answer and the understanding, the connectedness, the compassion, and the feeling of freedom that comes from that, The light in you is all I see. Absolutely. So much love to you all. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, whatever it is that you're doing. Let me know. I want to know what you're doing. I'm pranic feasting this weekend, and it's so much fun. So much love to you. Bye.